Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Indigo here. If you're having a good day or a good night, whatever time it is when you watch this video, okay? Channel message for the collective. Um, there's this energy that I was picking up on using your greatest qualities against you, and attention to detail was one of the things that I picked up. I feel like people want you to be very overly consumed in your attention to detail so that you become stuck in a state of being overly fixated on the details of those around you who are not contributing to your life in any positive way, shape, or form. Okay? There are people who desire to possess you and fill you up with constantly thinking about the things that they think about. Okay, and this is what people want to exchange with you. Okay, they want to exchange your mind, your focus for their overly fixated attention to your life and your existence and what you're doing. People want to take your drive and your focus and your creativity and make it their own. And the way that they will do this is by bringing things to your attention that do not need to be focused on. Okay, this could even be in the sense of if you were sharing a message, right? And the only aspect of the message that you're giving is the negative aspect of it. There is no, one thing that I learned about doing tarot, transmuting energy for the collective is a really big part of why I do this, okay? Because as a healer and someone who's meant to give messages, I'm not only going to give you the message, but I'm also going to put my energy and my attention to the details that can alchemize a certain situation in my collective's lives. So if I get a message like, oh, somebody's trying to harm the collective, I'm going to allow myself to tell my collective that someone is trying to harm you, but I also am going to pull out the things within my collective that can get them to protect themselves against this energy. So there are a lot of people at this time that are congregating literally within their groups to throw you off your path and get you distracted. And I feel like this comes in waves because you also have to remember as you are pulling literal demons out of people, they are going to have to go through their own phases of enlightenment and awareness that they have these entities attached to them. Okay? And that is not a pretty process. Um, it's a messy one. It's definitely a dark night of the soul for sure. When you start to understand that of capability, your lack of capability of implementing change in your life is the reason why you are not capable of having what it is that you want in your life. And a lot of people have to admit to the fact that they are not willing to dedicate themselves to certain goals because that is not the state in which it is that they're in. Some people are in the state of feeding the beast. People misinterpret your energy, right? Say you're like me yesterday. I went and got a half off bottle of wine and sat in the courtyard and enjoyed a bonfire while I journaled and had Sex in the City playing in the background, right? People see that indulgence as a way of attaching an energy to me that is not mine by utilizing a spirit and me consuming a spirit to get within my spirit to change the trajectory of where it is that I'm going in my life. Um and that has absolutely no effect on me, especially because of the awareness of it. Um there are people who at times don't expect you to show up because of what they know that they're doing to you. And a lot of people feel as though you're not acknowledging it, therefore you are unaware. But you were not acknowledging it because you were unaware. You're not acknowledging it because everything that is the occult is hidden, right? So why would I tell you what I know? My channel is no longer going to be used for displaying what it is that I already know. Okay? As someone who has evolved with their gifts and their abilities, I am aware that I have the ability to go into people's lives and literally protect them from things. I also have the ability to make them aware, and I do not have to use anything in this 3D reality to accomplish that goal. So, this is not going to be a channel where I feel the need to constantly focus on the enemy and what the enemy is trying to do to my collective. If I find out a piece of information that collective needs to know, I will share it with the collective. If I find out a piece of information that gives me more power to fight for my collective and protecting them and bringing justice and balance into their life, I am going to do that because I am one of those. I am one of those who sees through the bullshit, the illusions, and I get straight to the fucking point. I'm one of those that can literally touch your heart and rip it out of your fucking chest. I'm one of those who does not start conflict or confrontation because I am one of those that believe that either a life has to be taken or there is no conflict at all. If we are not in the perimeters of really defending ourselves, then what the fuck am I going back and forth with anybody about anything for? There's no need, there's no point. Um in no way, shape, or form am I ever under an illusion that makes me not aware of what the fuck is taking place in my life or around me and my surroundings and the surroundings of those in which it is that I care about. I have become more sensitive to energy, and I am someone who likes to indulge in other people's crafts, but I'm realizing the season that I'm in requires me not to because it's not feeding what is within me any longer. And I've had some codependency issues when it comes to um, maybe validation in a sense of validating what it is that I already feel or understand. It's like the quieter I get, the quieter my house is so quiet. Like you can hear the wind blow, you can hear the birds chirp, you can hear somebody's feet hitting the fucking pavement outside. Like I can hear so clearly here, and it's always very peaceful. And I feel like collective now is a time to sit and be the observer. Um, you do not have to prove your inner knowing or understanding to any person. You do not need to constantly fill your mind up with the thoughts of other people and their projections onto you, because you already are aware of it. And a lot of us who are intuitive, we go to seek confirmation. And I feel like the divine is asking me to be that example and that guiding source of allowing the divine to be the source in which it is that I receive my information from, which promotes me to be quiet and more willing to feel. And the wind blows really hard. Um, so yeah, like even with love readings, which are so innocent, you know, it's like allow yourself to experience that love first-handedly, rather than pretense trying to see into what you're going to experience. It's like have a life and have a story to tell. Have something other than, because I do see a lot of eager younger girls that are in the presence of men that they seek readings on or have done readings on themselves and are looking to pull out some type of energy in which it is that they said, you know, rather than actually authentically being in the presence of one in which it is that they enjoy the company of, um, thus taking away their own identity. Like, this is definitely like a turning point in my life as a leader and what it is that I'm choosing to lead and be focused on teaching my collective. This is definitely a season for me to teach. Um so I don't really know what that looks like as far as these readings go. And I don't really know what that means for my channel and my content. And I'm not ready to try to categorize it at this moment. I'm willing to allow just the change to happen. And then once we're in the midst of that change, then we can, you know, yeah. But reflection is definitely something. And under breaking down understanding is getting people to really understand what is taking place. Um, the spiritual work is really not the tarot readings. And I feel like I've done so many of them. My connection with my cards are not fulfilling me emotionally. It's not making me feel anything. I feel more energy when I'm in a state of doing self care rituals or when I'm just in a state of sitting here talking to you guys. I'm currently going over my notes and putting things together. And I feel like creating content from a place of learning, truth, and then the wisdom that has come from the experience is more so what I want to be focused on, is more so what I'm focused on right now. So I feel like I've been making content a lot lately. I've been pushing out content, but it's time for the type of like it's the narrative has to change. Because the truth is that you're always going to have haters. Like if you're doing something right, you're always going to have haters. If you are a person who feels like you do not have haters, it is because you are a part of the program. And just as so you have haters, you are going to have people that love you. And in a lot of cases, a lot of the people that love you are, I'm gonna just fall back. This is what I heard somebody say. I'm gonna just fall back and see what she does. And if she does what I think she's gonna do, then I'm going to lend that support to her. Because somebody knows that you know what you're doing and that there are very small contributions that will make an impactful change in the narrative in which it is that you're creating with the work that you're doing. Um, and I feel like people are looking for that turnaround. Okay, I also heard your turnaround time is immaculate. So if you have uh, like deadlines or something that you have to meet, somebody really fucks with how you meet those deadlines as well. But yeah, because I sat down, there was an energy that I was picking up on. At first, I was just sitting here and I was listening to some music and some lo-fi vibe shit, and I was taking my notes. I was sitting here, talking to the divine while I'm taking my notes. And then I started to watch a reading because it popped up on my feed and it was like new and fresh. So I went to go click on it and watch it. And it's like my frontal lobe felt so much pressure. And I'm like, yo, I literally feel sick right now. And mind you, I'm on my cycle, so I'm even more like sensitive, you feel me? And I'm like, yo, this is not like making me feel good because it's not like the reader's fault that the reader is just doing what the reader is meant to do. But I'm not in a state to where I need to consume awareness of my the people that are standing up against me. I already know bitches don't want me to finish my task. Bitches don't want me to talk about what I'm talking about. Bitches don't want me to teach about what I'm teaching about. People don't want me to bring enlightenment and unconditional love and true authentic experiences into others' lives. People want me to feel like I have to hermit myself in order for me to maintain my peace and my spiritual equilibrium when I have that even in environments of chaos. Like, I don't need to constantly remind myself of the things that the odds that are stacked against me. I need to constantly remind myself of what it is that I need to do in order for me to move forward. So this could be a season for you guys to I'm seeing like vision boards, okay, subliminals, okay, decorating and putting in your environment and instilling within yourself those positive changes. Doesn't matter if you decide to have a drink, doesn't matter if you decide to have a smoke. If you have a drink or you have a smoke, fucking create something, write something, read something. Go out, have a conversation with the stranger. Learn wisdom from another individual who's already experienced, like allow yourself to be, because I feel like the more you fixate on people and their ill will towards you, the more you the the part that I feel like it messes with is your ability to connect closely with others. Because subconsciously your mind pulls back from people when you hear negative things about people. Subconsciously your mind does that as a way to protect yourself. And that is a protection skill that you have built up. Is that, oh, people are on bullshit right now, so I'm pulling back. Even in somebody's darkest moments, you can still learn from them. And you are still teaching those who even have ill will or ill intention towards you with your ability to still be positive and an uplifting positive person, which it is what you naturally are. And I feel like for me lately, I feel like that's been a test, like to see if like I really give a fuck about people, because in moments of me not giving a fuck or feeling like I shouldn't give a fuck because I know that you have negative intention towards me, I still extend that grace and that care. Um, and that has more to do with my personality and staying true to myself and not allowing the negativity to change me. Like, I don't feel that I need to become a dark feminine or exist in my dark feminine nature just to protect myself, because my higher vibration has been the thing that has protected me. I don't, a lot of us don't need to change because there's nothing wrong with the way that we are. And I think that when we overly fixate on what's going on around us, we are subconsciously trying to find a way to change ourselves so that this thing doesn't happen again. But then you find in whatever change it is that you implement, what, especially if it's a negative one, you find that you're even more so affected by it and you feel less protected because you're allowing your soul to dance with the devil, if that makes sense. But the world literally looks slanted right now. I don't know what the fuck is happening, but as I'm looking out the window, it looks like it's a painting and it's slanted. So you just need to straighten out your perception, put your mind on that track of attracting positivity into your life. Yeah, it's like, why do we don't have to suffer anymore. Like, we already fought the battle and a lot of you are in the midst of fighting the battle, and I do not want to be the person who, in the midst of you fighting the battle, I'm just pointing out, oh, the battle, the battle, the battle, the battle. It's like, okay, how are we going to combat this battle? That's what I feel like I'm meant to be doing right now, and have been in the process of working on that. And now I'm understanding the shift in the timeline. But yeah, I think there is a full moon coming up or some type of fucking event that's happening right now. I'm gonna look into that and see like what I can do for the channel. Anybody who was wondering what the fuck, the candle, I did not make the video with the candle or the cleansing. I did not even use the candle to do the energetic cord work. I just went into the dream state and was assisting you in cutting that energetic cord. So if you like that video, understand that there are certain things that are being drudged up from your spirit, because before you can cut it, you have to look at it again. Sometimes you will have the same reoccurring dream because the divine is asking you to look at the dream and gain a different perspective. Gain a different perspective. Imagine somebody cutting you off, right? And then they get to go past the green light and then you have to stop at the red light, right? But just ahead of them passing that green light, they get into a car accident. And you're stopped at the red light. Once the light turns green, now you get to go around and avoid the car accident that the person who cut you off to get in front of you, right, to get to where they were going faster. Now you get to maneuver around them and safely arrive at your destination. So that was a motherfucking metaphor, bitch. Take that shit how it resonates. I absolutely adore and love all of you. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.